Yo, what is going on, my dudes? It's your host, LamarStaysWeird, coming to you once again with another podcast. Now, I know this has been a minute. I kind of just waited for this one movie in particular because I was really excited to see it. And it obviously took the internet by storm, as you guys can tell by the thumbnail and most likely the title of this episode. Yeah, man, we are going to be talking about Obsession today. This movie has, like I said, taken the internet by storm. It is all over the place. It is one of the most talked about movies right now, and a lot of people are saying it's one of the best movies of the year so far. We have some bangers coming out later in the year that's going to be very interesting, but this is an unexpected banger, and it's true. It is so fucking good, and I think everybody should watch it at least once, and I think this is a movie theater movie. Everybody should check it out. Go with some of your friends. We went with a few both times. We watched it twice, opening weekend. And honestly, we didn't even think we were going to watch it more than once. And a lot of people seem to have this same sentiment of just how uneasy this movie was. Because, dude, the premise is, it's a premise as old as time itself, most likely. But so you have an object, it gives you a wish, and then some lonely boy wishes for the girl that he loves and that he is obsessed with to love him back. And that's exactly what happens. He wishes for his crush to love him more than anyone in the world. And I assume a lot of you grew up watching Fairly Odd Parents. Timmy did this exact same thing with Trixie. And that was a nightmare. That was the episode where she was constantly like twitching in her eye and saying like, tell me I'm pretty and all this other stuff. And he tried so hard to get away from her. Very terrible wish. And it's very unethical. A lot of places would normally tell you like, oh, you can't, bring back somebody from the dead. You can't wish for somebody to love you. And normally you can't grant more wishes. Those are usually like the big three, and I feel like that was itched into my brain somewhere. I want to say that was another movie. I can't think of it off the top of my head. If you happen to know what it is, let me know. But yeah, man, that's what the premise is. So he wishes for somebody to be in love with him, and it goes completely wrong. And this is a prime example of everything great with modern horror. I think this is one of the best examples of modern horror, at least where we are now in the 2020s, which is a crazy fucking statement to think about. But mid 2020s, I think we figured out the formula, and the future of horror looks amazing. I'm so excited to see where we go from here because Curry Barker, all right, I knew him from his skits on Instagram and stuff like that, so it was crazy to see this is what he was doing. He had another film that he did that he put on YouTube. I haven't watched it yet. I'm definitely going to get to it after this because he now has my attention. And his next project, first of all, he made this project off of $750,000, okay? And as of right now, it has grossed $34.6 million worldwide. That is remarkable. And like I said earlier, a lot of people are already talking about how this is probably one of the best movies, like not just horror movies, one of the best movies of the year so far. And that is a big, I forgot the fucking word, but a lot of credit has to be given to him for writing it, directing it, but also who he chose to star in this film. He chose Indy Navarrete, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, okay? She's, I believe I saw she was Mexican. Either way, she's part of the Latin community, so it's awesome to see some representation, and especially somebody with so much talent and who's just, like, bursting onto the scene right now. Her career is going to be insane going from here on out because her acting chops, you would not make me believe this was, like, no name. Everybody did a phenomenal job, and they all get their flowers, don't get me wrong. But my God, my girl deserves some. She is definitely a scream queen. She's definitely a new scream queen with this new title. Obsession is phenomenal. Everybody needs to watch it. Her performance alone is very worth it. And we need more new blood like this. And Curry Barker, his first, like, I guess, theatrical release of a movie does this well. His next movie has already been funded, has already been made. It's just in the process. And he has Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, okay, and then Bryce Dallas Howard. That is insane. That is his main cast for that next film. Dude, that is fucking insane. These people wanted to be directed by him. That is, it's remarkable to see. And his career is just taking off running. Okay, he hit the ground running, and he's only in his, like, I think mid-20s, I think, something like that. And his next project after that is going to be a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake or like reboot or something, and it's backed by A24. That is fucking crazy. I don't think any director could dream of that much of a career in so little time. He's already booked, he's already making money, he's making connections, he's making his films and the ones he's dreamt of making. Dude, everybody would want to be like this guy. I don't think there's been another person that's like film bros would want to be, other than like not Will Smith. Jesus Christ, definitely not fucking Will Smith. Kevin Smith. Okay, Kevin Smith beforehand. He was just a nerd out of Jersey that just made a movie about his life that just took off with cult status, and from there he's just made movies with his friends and with people he's loved and made so many connections. He's got to live out his dream and still is to this day. That is who a film bro would want to be. Curry Barker is the next guy. And he sounds like an awesome dude. He sounds very knowledgeable. He's very passionate, and you love to see it. That's exactly the shit that we want. And I'm very proud of him and where everything is going to be going. This movie made me my whole thing is going fucked. This movie made me so uncomfortable. You guys have no idea. Everyone in our theater just sat there trying to process everything we just watched. It was so uncomfortable. It was unsettling. Dude, it practically gave me PTSD. And as by the title, I know you guys are probably like, what the fuck is he talking about? You guys, for the people that aren't, or for the people that are new here, I always throw in a little bit. It is a podcast. I kind of stepped away from trying to just be breaking down films because everybody's doing that. That's fine. I just want to talk about the films I like and then also talk about stories related to it. This is just a weird conversation I intend to have because I like to look at it as we're talking about a movie and we're having a conversation, and I'm going to have some stuff to say that's adjacent to it or something like that. That's exactly what I'm doing here. So if you really like it, please just like, comment, share, whatever. Tell people about it. It's fine. And, you know, people can listen to it. You can listen to it on the way to work. You can listen to it literally doing anything. I do not care. Any and all support. Genuinely love it and appreciate it. But yeah, this movie gave me some PTSD back when I ran into this one chick. And I made the same mistake as fucking, what do you call it, Bear. That's the main character of this movie. I made the same as Bear and dipped my pen in company ink, and you're not supposed to fucking do that. That's a very terrible idea, but everybody learns it in their 20s, and some people learn it even later. But yeah, man, this incident happened almost 9 years ago. It was fucking insane, man. I don't know if I should just get into it now or what, but it's crazy. But we'll get more into the movie first before I get into like my story and PTSD. But just know, people who've dealt with crazy exes or stalkers, or even this situation, friends who just happen to like them and then just kind of couldn't take no for an answer or rejection or anything like that. Yeah, dude, this movie is gonna make you very fucking uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not long at all. It's an hour 48 minutes. The pacing is incredible. Like, everything is constantly moving. Nothing feels rushed. Nothing. Everything is great. The story is great. The characters are great. Everything is just well written. The shots in this, there's some great shots that are genuinely fucking creepy. This movie reminded me how much I hate just like silhouetted girls and just girls with like long hair doing some creepy shit. So like The Grudge, The Ring, you guys have seen me talked about that. That type of shit scared me as a kid. And this movie and how Indy was moving around in this movie, it reminded me, hey, yeah, that's still a fear of mine. I still don't like that type of shit at all. I'll watch movies with it. I can handle it now. but it was it was definitely not a favorite thing to see, and I'm like, ooh, you guys have brought me back a little bit. But yeah, I was practically on the edge of my seat, and I never say that because that's just one of those sayings. No, I was waiting to see what was gonna happen next, who was gonna do what, all these things. They had great characters all around, or at least great performances, not great characters. Of course, not all the characters are great. There's literally only like two good people in this whole thing, and you know what? It's the women. This is a whole man's problem. Men ruined everything in this film. Absolutely ruined everything. I don't think there's any good dude. Maybe one, maybe the shop clerk that he fucking talks to at one point. He's a sassy motherfucker, but I don't blame him. But yeah, the premise is very simple, and that's the non-spoilery stuff. I don't want to go like there's not a whole lot I can say, and honestly, the less you know, the better. Just absolutely go watch this as soon as you can, wherever you can. I'm immediately gonna try to get a poster of it. I bought a shirt, dude. Right after we watched it, we saw the merch store online, and I'm like, I gotta buy some of this. And then my girlfriend bought a tote bag, and then we know somebody else who bought a shirt. So we're all like so thrilled about this. I already see people making steelbook custom covers for physical releases, and I don't even know if this movie's going to get a physical release. I don't think anybody's even talking about that right now, and it's already in main conversation and stuff, and I'm already thinking about it because it looks fucking awesome, and I'm going back to physical media. Okay, streaming has been pissing me off, so my girlfriend and I, we're building our own collection, and I'm really proud of that. That's something we get to share, like movies we really love and that we would keep watching. So there's a lot of rewatchable ones. I'm doing that now. So yeah. But no, dude, definitely gotta watch it. There's so much love and passion behind this project and with the cast, and dude, everybody fucking cares. Everyone cares. It's crazy how people are really into the behind the scenes. I see people sharing the photos, people wanting to know more about what's going on. I see people and like crew sharing their photos, their videos from behind the scenes. People are invested. People actually really want to see the behind the scenes of the making of this film. Nobody talks about that. Okay? Nobody ever really cares besides the people that are really into film. So it's crazy general audiences are like, I got to know more. I got to know what's going on and stuff. That is awesome. So I think this is really turning the tide, and I also think this goes against that bullshit about how, oh, people don't want to go to theaters, blah 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 blah. No, the younger generation is what's keeping theaters afloat right now. Besides the people in my like age range, a little bit older, of course, there's all sorts of people that want to go to movies, but I think the biggest demographic right now is the younger generation. And dude, you gotta feed them good shit. You gotta like care about what you're doing. You can't just throw out stuff because you gotta. People are, I want to say, more conscious about the time that they give, and they want to invest it somewhere good. They want to know they're getting a good product, and that it's not just these half-assed movies, which some people enjoy. I personally don't. Anytime I watch a bad movie, I'm just like, damn, how long was this movie? Crazy. That's how much time I just wasted right now. I could have watched a different movie. I get like that. It's a little cynical, but I mean, it's how I feel. I only want to watch stuff that I know I'm for sure gonna like, or at least that definitely has my interest. So that's something I think a lot of people should be doing. But no, this movie's only been out like I think like a week. Yeah, it came out on May 15th. So if you guys are watching this and that's your birthday, yo, that's fucking sick, dude. That's a really cool one to share with. But those are the main things right now. There's a lot going on. I just have stuff pulled up. Like on IMDb right now, it's at an 8.2 for a horror movie. 8.2. Okay. And on Letterboxd, 4.2. That is crazy. That just a horror movie that high, that's insane. And with so many reviews, 110,000 5-star reviews, 101,000 4.5, 116,000 4 stars. That's fucking crazy. How many 1 stars or half stars? 855 half stars, 1.3K for 1 star. That is such a huge difference, dude. That is that is honestly remarkable. But I absolutely love this film. The people seem really cool behind the scenes. Definitely go watch it. I think I've talked enough about the non-spoilery stuff, but I want to go ahead and start getting into it. So if you haven't seen it, come back and watch it. My chair squeaked. I promise that wasn't my asshole. And yeah, you got to let me know what you think. I really care about what people have to say. And God, dude, anybody who supports the men in this movie, side eye them. They're mad questionable. Okay, first and foremost. And I'm kind of curious, if you guys did have one wish, what would you wish on? Like, I genuinely want to know. So please answer that for me. What would be your main wish? Considering those three rules, okay, you can't make somebody love you, you can't bring anybody back from the dead, and you can't wish for another wish. You only get, like, the one. Okay, I don't want to say three wishes because it's going to go too far. If you had one, what would it be? And in this movie, Bear should have known better, dude. I imagine we probably grew up with the same cartoons, the same stories, you know, the same type of skit. It's one of those things that's kind of like public knowledge. Like, hey, if you get wishes, probably don't wish for these certain things and make sure you phrase it in a certain way, cover your bases so you don't get fucked over. Because there's always like a give and take. There's always something. There's always a bad side. At least that's just what I grew up knowing. Like, hey, you get a wish, you better watch it, man. Something's coming with it. And that's exactly what happens here. He just didn't know. And when he did find out, he just did not care. And that makes Bear a very shitty person. Okay. And I like that. This movie, you fucking hate, or at least you're supposed to. You're supposed to fucking hate this guy. All right. He's no good. And you got Bear, you got his best friend Ian, and he's an okay guy until you learn more about him, you know, whatever. Then you have the crush, which is going to be Nikki. Okay, she's the popular, very beautiful girl. And then there's always like the alt chick that's just off to the side. That's like very attractive and very into the main character, and the main character just doesn't notice. And it's like, brother, what's going on here? Two very beautiful women in completely different ways, you know. So it's like, I don't know. People want what they want, yeah, but come on, you know, you're trying to be happy, you're trying to feel love, like this is why you were lonely, you know. That's whatever. But yeah, it's there's a lot of like, I don't even want to say Stockholm syndrome because it's not her, but I think this is a movie that would pair very well for like a double feature if you did like Talk to Me. If you watched Talk to Me, you watched this. I don't know another movie that this one could really pair with. There's probably some out there. I would want people to let me know. It's like a dark, it is like a dark romance movie. I want to say not Lisa Frankenstein. I love Lisa Frankenstein, but it was not creepy. It wasn't scary. This movie, it does get there. Like you really, like, there's nothing funny about it. I don't think there's anything to really laugh at. And I think when people do laugh during this movie, it's just like uncomfortable, like, oh shit, yeah, like nervous laughter. I feel like I didn't laugh like a single time during all of this. I could be wrong, because even the moments you think people would laugh and then you realize everyone around you is not laughing, you're like, oh no, a lot of people are like uncomfortable. Like, this is so wild. Yeah, but people see the scenes and stuff out of context online, and everybody's, you know, they think it's a joke and all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, but when you're watching the whole movie just front to back, dude, it is so uncomfortable. It really, really is. And yeah, but no, we have Bear. Okay, he's really into this chick. He wants to confess his feelings to her, and I've seen him described as a cuck more than anything. People just hate him, and I don't know if he'd be considered like an incel or anything, but this is kind of like a guy that kind of deserved to be lonely, because it's like, this is what you do the moment you have the slightest bit of control over somebody. So, and it's like this movie is like a litmus test, I would say. If somebody sympathizes with Bear, you should not be friends with that person. In all honesty, you shouldn't, because that's fucking crazy. Like, that's foul, dude. Because he makes a wish and she completely loses her autonomy, and she just becomes like obsessed with him. And it's crazy because they have a conversation a night that he's taking her home before he makes the wish, like right before. She just flat out asks him, like, "Oh, hey, do you like me?" Because she's kind of picking up that he's being weird. He's been trying to tell her something all night, and the way that she responds, and even they've said in interviews, she most likely would have reciprocated. He just didn't give her the chance. So the moment he was able to actually confess those feelings, he just said, "Oh no, I like you as a friend," and then she's like, "Oh, okay, good," like, and she handled rejection well, because that's what it sounded like. And then Sarah, she's been rejected this whole time, or she's just like sidelined. So that's like another one of his friends in the friend group, and she likes him. And yeah, that's just it. The women take rejection very well, and he doesn't. And he got her the gift, the little one wish willow, and he breaks it, makes a wish, and immediately kicks in, and she starts acting so weird, like very into him. And a lot of people were trying to figure out, like, is it possession? Is it her? Is it like a doppelganger or anything? Because the whole thing, like, I'm definitely going to be jumping here, but she's losing herself. She has moments where she snaps out of it and she like completely freaks the fuck out. And it's crazy, dude. Like, it scares you because she just starts screaming or something, or saying like, it's not me. She doesn't know where she's at, all these things. So she's so she starts talking about his stuff from like his perspective. Like, he lost his cat the same day that he went out with her and the friends and stuff like that. And all of a sudden she starts talking about like, "Oh, I just lost my cat," and stuff. So people are saying it's like a piece of him or something like that. I don't really know, but it's not like fully possession or anything, because she regains her consciousness, or she like snaps out of it when her body is asleep. She talks in her sleep, and it's actually the real Nikki, not this Nikki. And it was so unsettling. It was so sad, dude. It was so sad, because over time of her experiencing all this, she she wants to be killed. She wants it over. And I know I'm rushing all over the place, but it's just, dude, this movie like completely works you up, and you're like, oh my god, so much was happening. But yeah, he immediately. This isn't like a he's dumb thing. He doesn't know what he did. No, the moment she starts acting weird, he's like side eyeing the One Wish Willow. It's like, okay. So he starts picking up immediately, like, hey, you're being weird. Like, what is going on with you? Like, she immediately wants to stay at his house. She wants him to come inside, all this stuff. She wants to share the bed with him and all this and that. He automatically knows something is wrong. And it's like, dude, okay, and something in your mind is telling you that might have been real. Because obviously he thought it was a gimmick. But then this is happening. It's like, yeah, that's kind of odd. And I love that. I love that. Nobody's dumb in this movie. And so once he actually gets confirmation, once he figures it out, like, oh shit, that's the wish. Like, he even quotes the wish back to her, and is like, "Would you say you love me more than anyone else?" And then he's like, and she's like, "Yeah, pretty much." And dude, he sleeps with her. It's fucking crazy. It's assault. It's sexual assault. She could not consent to any of this. So it's really fucking sad. And it's fucking wild. And I can also relate to this as well. And some people will probably side eye or be like, oh, what the fuck ever, like eye roll, etc. But no, I've been in that position where you kind of just sleep with someone just because, like, damn, okay, like, I guess. I've done that, and I just never really thought about it. Am I gonna say like, oh, this person like sexually assaulted me or anything? No, I'm not gonna say that. That's definitely not the case. Because I feel, or at least I feel like I'm not gonna call it that, because I still did, even though it was like reluctant or anything. It's like, okay, I did have a choice, but I was in an awkward situation, and you guys will see what I dealt with. I set up a little something that will highlight this, and this is real, because these are screenshots from messages back in 2017, 9 years ago, dude, of this chick that I ran into, and she's still around and about. Not around me, but she's definitely out in the world, and our circles have gotten a little too close for comfort. but I have seen her, I think, twice since this incident, and it was crazy. But man, yeah, no, it's it's wild. But yeah, I would never really say that, but I did put myself in positions that I shouldn't have, and did things I probably didn't really want to do, and I just went along with them. I was in a very weird place when all that was going down. My ex and I, first of all, we weren't even exes. We were best friends that just we had feelings, and it just never became a thing. We never talked about it, and it just had this messy blow up, and it was terrible. So we were the only ones here because we moved here. We moved to Orlando together. Like, we were best friends, all this stuff, and then over time things just kind of changed, and then you know neither one of us were actually saying what we were feeling, and we are still in our late teens. Yeah, we were in our late teens, and we just didn't know what we were doing. We came from really bad backgrounds, and we weren't dealing with things in a proper way, and like no communicating or anything. Like it sucks, but you grow up and you live and learn. And yeah, dude, I just wanted to get away from home. And I met this person, we worked together at HHN, and we got along like pretty decently. So it's like, yeah, sure. And then things kind of like, when a bunch of teenagers are working together and shit, especially in Orlando, dude, if you work at the parks, a lot of people are fucking each other. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people are fucking each other. It is crazy. It is worse than college. You guys have no idea. Okay. It is fucking wild. And yeah, so that's just what happened. We hooked up. I want to say we hooked up less than I want to say less than 10 times, but I think it's even less than that. I want to say it's probably maybe 5 times or less. Like, we weren't dating or anything. We would just hang out, and yeah, that just just let off some stress, blow off some steam. There we go. That's it. We just bumped uglies from time to time. And yeah, dude, it was something. It really, really was. I want to see if I can get this going. I don't know if this is playing on anything. Let me see. Is this playing on anything? I don't know. I gotta check this out. Hold up. Because because I have these messages, okay? And I definitely wanted I thought about just reading them or even posting them, but I'm like, no, I kind of gonna use something to read it, and you guys see just how fucking wild this actually was. Because dude, it was not fun. So that's kind of like the big thing here, and I really want to see if I can figure it out. I'm probably going to make a cut so that way it gets in properly. Okay, and we're back. So I should have this up and working now. So I'm gonna have this thing read her parts, and I'm gonna read mine. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, so that's why I have the headset. Obviously, I'm not gonna name names or anything like that, but for the people that are like watching this, like, you can see, hopefully you can see. I don't know if the quality will actually work or anything, but these are from May 18th, 2017, dude. That is crazy. 9 years ago, almost exactly. That's fucking wild. And the movie came out when again? I think it was what? What was it? I think it was May 16th. Yo, that's actually fucking crazy if that's true. It came out May 15th. All right, so 3 days before the anniversary of this shit show that I went through. Oh my god, that's fucking crazy. Oh my god. Okay. All right, so granted, I want to preface this. This, like, I was really in a weird situation because I would hang out with this person when I wanted to get away, from like my home thing, because there was nowhere else I could go and stuff. And I didn't drive or anything at the time, and I still kind of don't. But yeah, so there was no like real freedom for me to go doing anything. It was my roommate, my ex best friend, whatever we would call it. But Yeah. So when I wanted to get away, I just hung out with people, and she knew that. So the last time I was at her place before this, it was really uncomfortable, and I haven't spoken to her since. If I remember correctly, this is exactly why this conversation happened. So my ex and I, we had like an argument or something. I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking go home. I want to get away from all this, or not go home, but I want to get away from home. And she was there. She's like, cool, yeah, you can stay at my place, whatever. And that was cool. That was awesome. But this chick stayed with her parents in bumfuck nowhere, dude. I have no idea where, but literally the middle of fucking nowhere. I had no idea where I was. But we were there, and I was going through a lot because we just had an argument. And so she drives out. She lived like literally over an hour away. Okay, and bumfuck nowhere. I couldn't tell you where. And it was crazy. And the whole way she was very just sexual. She was very sexually charged. And when we get to her place and she wants to sleep together, and I'm very hesitant because I'm like, oh, like I'm going through a lot right now. Like I mainly wanted to get away. I wanted to just be around somebody else and maybe talk or something like that because, I'm trying to process a lot of my shit, and I couldn't really do that. And she kind of wouldn't let it go. And so eventually we did sleep together, and it sucks because I really wanted to leave. I was trapped at her house, my dude. I had nowhere to go. And I don't even think was Lyft or Uber very popular around this time? I really don't even know, but I was very young. I wasn't using it, so I had like no idea. And so I'm just like, great, I'm stuck here. I can't sleep. This chick is supposed to take me to work in the morning. Like, it's really fucking rough. And I was like, all I want to do is go home. And it's crazy when you kind of want to text the person you try to get away from, like, hey, can you come fucking save me from this? It was very bad. I mean, I kept pushing it off so much about doing something. And dude, it's probably gonna be TMI, but this chick was literally trying to give everything to sleep with me right then and there. And I'm just like, no. And then she was like, oh, like, yeah, we could do it as many times as you want. You could do this, you could do that. Oh, we'll even not use a condom, blah, 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 blah. Like, literally verbatim. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, oh my God. Like, this is so, I don't know. Like, it's just so much pressure. And it just felt very weird. Like, I felt like a virgin on prom night or something like that. And it's just like, God, you're really trying to work for this and make me mad uncomfortable. And whenever she took me home, it was the quietest fucking ride home I can imaginable. Or not home, but like to work in the morning. And dude, I pretty sure I didn't talk to her since then. And based on these texts, because I don't have anything else, and these are from Facebook. These are screenshots from my old Facebook. They're all saved in my Google Photos, so that's how I know exactly when this took place. Thing is, I wish it had a caption because I'm pretty sure I typed a whole last caption or description, and it didn't. It's not there. I guess it was just too long and just too many other things. I don't really know, but we're gonna have something read her parts, and then I'm gonna read mine. You guys are gonna see how fucking weird it is, and then we can go back to talking about the movie. But I gotta talk about this. Guys go through this shit too, and it's fucking wild, dude. I honestly never want to encounter this person ever again. But our circles are a little too close, and at least for my liking, and the scene that we're all into, like the music, it's like, God, I feel like there's gonna be a chance one day I actually run into her, and it's fucking, yeah, I don't know, but let's see if it works. Okay, so if you guys are seeing or hearing this part, the whole audio thing just wasn't really working out like how I wanted. So I'm just gonna be reading it. You guys are gonna be dealing with me narrating all this, and you're gonna be able to see, like, if you guys are watching this, you're gonna be able to see the messages reflected on my thing. But this is what she says. Did I do something other than ask you to have sex? Like something wrong? Because I feel like last time was the last time for some reason. But no, you haven't. It's just not the number one thing on my mind. I'm not exactly like most guys. I know it's fucking cringe. Whatever. I was young, and I was just in a bad spot, and I'm like, okay, I just want a friend. Clearly, I just want a friend. I just want someone to hang out with to try to get away from all this bullshit. And I know it's not. it's just been 2 weeks, and then your parents are coming down, and you're going to North Carolina, and then your friends are coming down. And I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see you before all that, you know? I mean, I need the Lamar that is gonna fuck my brains out for sure. But like the Lamar that analyzed my dreams is nice too. Or the one that answers my texts. Good lord. And this is like 11 at night, by the way. And I put gaming, sorry. And she says, not fucking me with the fucking shrug emoji. Come stay over. Hmm. All right. All right, what? Oh, that was me that said all right. And then she's like, all right, what? I was like, I guess I can stay. You guess, LMAO. I was like, since you asked so nicely. She's like, I didn't ask. I put emojis. I put the laughing, crying face, and then she just didn't do anything. She said, I didn't ask. And I say, exactly. She's like, now you want sex, huh? Did everyone log off? Has the game miraculously completed? No. Sex is nice, but no. Me saying no twice. At least so far. Yeah. Yeah. How many counts is that? Hold on. I mean, I did say I'm just not, it's just not the number one thing on my mind. I want to count that as a no. That's me kind of like, it's not a hard no, but it's a soft, like, moving away from a yes. And so I'm gonna count that. So that's 3 no's I was giving this chick, okay? And then I was like, and the game did end. Maybe I will go to bed though. I gotta be up early to call my school again. She's like, or you could come stay over if you want. And then I air quotes, now you want sex, huh? And she's like, LOL, I have to have some control in the situation, right? I was like, I agreed, and you backed off. I backed off, you come forward. Where is control? And then she says, not in my hands. I'm like, true. I did just get comfortable. If I don't have anything really important tomorrow, want to hang? So she's like, so not tonight. Ugh, Lamar, really? I'm on my way. So pack. So that's like another deflection of I don't really want to go. So that's like 4 times. I'm like, why not tomorrow though? Because I don't want to go over and have sex. I just want a friend to hang out. And I was like, okay, that's just like too much pressure. I don't want to deal with that. And I'm like, oh, so like, why not tomorrow? She's like, cause I'm busy. And I'm like, lame. I'm already comfortable and tired. Then there's an hour to your place. And she's like, and? I'm like, you're going to want sex. That's going to be however long. I'd be wide awake, not getting sleep, and school calling me early in the morning. I get no sleep on my day off. Then she says, to be honest, I'm probably getting my period like tomorrow, so it's now or never with a shrug emoji. You agreed. Now you're hesitant and thinking of all the possibilities. I mean, which is it? And I was like, I was up for it until I got in bed, which not really, because clearly I'm like saying no and deflecting. I'm like, oh, maybe we can hang out tomorrow or anything. Obviously, I'm not wanting sex, because if I'm a guy wanting sex, I'm like, hell yeah, come pick me up now. My pants will be around my ankles. No, not happening. Guys can still say no. And women, when women say no, it is still a fucking no, and anybody can change their mind at any point. Okay? Consent can be brought up whenever. It does not matter. It can change at any moment. Doesn't matter. And then she's like, you did that on purpose, asshole. Get out of bed. I was like, I didn't, actually. Ugh. Why agree and then disagree? No sense. I was like, I really did consider it. Not really. Well, I'm already driving. I'm a complex person sometimes. I've been told I'm contradicting. She's like, so what are you going to do? LOL. I was like, and insensitive a lot. I'll stay at my place tonight. I'm just spitting bullshit because I just don't want this chick. I don't even know. Why was she going after me? I wasn't even being great or anything. And she's like, wow, you're going to make me turn back around. What the fuck ever, dude? I was like, I didn't tell you to drive. I said no before you left. You're the one that went straight into the car. She's like, you really need to stop fucking around on me. Like, seriously. And then come up with lame excuses like, I'm insensitive, I'm complex. That's not deep. You choose to be that way. And I just put, don't have time for an argument. That'll get us nowhere. And that was the end of that. I'm pretty fucking sure I blocked her after that, and we haven't spoken since. And since that's happened, I think I've seen her twice in my life. That was the craziest shit I've ever had to deal with from a, well, not the craziest shit I've ever dealt with from a woman, because I have receipts of this too. It is fucking crazy, of an ex that God, there's just so much tea this episode. I should have told you guys to like get comfortable or something. And then we're gonna get back into the movie. I swear to God. But if I, like my description and like my stuff says, this is just a conversation to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And the tea is hot this episode, and it's fucking wild. And I just want to say, yeah, shit happens to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, anything. It's fucking crazy how people can be. But yes, and I think I proved this in an episode before. I could be wrong. Who knows? I have terrible memory. But I had an ex who just straight up lied about being raped. I'm just gonna say it. Whatever. She lied about being raped when she actually just cheated on me with the next guy she dated after me, after we broke up. Because we broke up not too long after that. I'm not saying I broke up with her, but it's just, I can't remember what it was, but for whatever reason, we did break up. Like, we just didn't really work out. But yeah, that was like weeks later. And yeah, she did that, and then she admitted it to me like years later. Oh, hey, remember when that like happened? Actually, I just went and slept with somebody. And I'm like, wow. I never even considered at all the fact that you lied to me about that. I had no inkling that you cheated on me, ever. I never once thought that about you. I could have went my whole life not knowing, and then out of nowhere, she just dropped a fucking bomb because like we reconnected after some time. Like, oh, hey, how you been? Blah, 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 blah. Talking, and then drop, like, fucking bomb. And I'm like, what? It's like, what are you talking about right now? What the fuck? And I fucking put her on blast for that too, because I was like, dude, who the fuck is this chick right now? Who is this person? Okay. And I don't know, it's fucking crazy. I'm gonna get off these topics, but dude, anything could happen to anyone. Fucking hell, shit happens. But yeah, going back into the movie, dude, some of my favorite things about this movie is just the whole movie is literally just Indy Navarrete. Her performance is incredible. How they structure her, and I definitely think they might have used CGI from time to time or something, but if anything, very, 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 very fucking little. A lot of practical effects. It was great. Not a whole lot of deaths, you know, which is not a bad thing. Gets a little gory, which is pretty cool. But yeah, dude, fuck, this movie is so good. And the way they played with lighting and the scares, it's not just jump scares. They made things very creepy. Shots linger on. A lot of it hinges on her performance. Like, I can't stress that enough. And I know I'm just like glazing this chick right now. But no, literally, without her, I don't know how good this movie would be. Because it was just that fucking good. She sunk into this role. And she seems like such a vibe outside of it. Like, her online presence just seems like so cool, in all honesty. So it's like, wow, the fact that that was you is crazy. But yeah, man, she hones it in. She has the sincerity, and you feel so bad for Nikki, because Nikki is such a victim in all of this. She is just a person who is just trying to find more meaning in her life. But because this guy couldn't bring himself to express his feelings and let her go, immediately traps her in, like, just, I don't know, she just trapped, and then like trapped inside her own body as well. So all in all, the whole situation completely fucked. Completely fucked. And you just don't like him. And the comeuppance is great. And supposedly, I think in the next movie, and spoilers for the end, I will go ahead and say, he does get creeped out by so much stuff going on that he eventually is just like, yo, like, I gotta undo this. And he tries to go back to the fucking crystal place that he bought it from. They're telling him, hey, you can't undo a wish, man. Like, it's just how it is. And it's real. Like, all this stuff is real. And the guy knows, like, yeah, I already used my one wish. So everybody gets one, okay? And he uses it. He can't anymore. So he buys more. And then he goes to his friend Ian. And it turns out Ian and Nikki, they've been off and on hooking up for like 2 years. So that kind of makes him a shitty friend because he knows that his best friend has just been in love with this chick for a long time. And so he's just kind of been hiding that. And then he's kind of like sabotaging him by giving him the wrong advice to try to uh just like express his love to Nikki and stuff like that. So this guy knew. This guy was already into her. And watching this twice, it was extremely obvious the second time. It was kind of obvious the first time. I didn't think they were like fucking or anything, but I'm like, oh, that guy definitely likes Nikki. Like, yeah, he likes her. And then when the bomb dropped, like, oh, they've been hooking up for a while. It's like, oh, that's crazy. That's shitty, bro. So it makes him shitty. The only two people that weren't shitty in this movie is just Sarah and Nikki. Like the women just got done completely wrong. And it sucks because Sarah, like, it's a bleak ending because he can't undo the wish, and he goes to Ian to make a wish. Ian decides to be a fucking idiot and wishes for like $1 billion, and it rains from the sky. So that's his one wish gone. So his next idea is, oh, let me try to get Nikki, who says will do anything for me, to make a wish and undo everything. And dude, it was a smart idea, but honestly, I thought what he would do after knowing that the real Nikki like is able to I guess, be conscious is when the other one's asleep. I thought he was probably gonna like knock out Nikki and then get Nikki to make a wish, like somehow try to like break it in her hand. I don't know if he could, or maybe he used her hands to like snap it, but to break it in her hand and get her to make the wish and completely stop everything. And it's like, damn, that would have been smart, but it doesn't happen. So he decides he's gonna, because the only other way to undo the wish is by dying. So if he dies, the wish dies, which is cool, but homegirl's been through enough. Like, she's self-harmed multiple times. Like, dude, the secondhand embarrassment that happens in these episodes, or in this movie, is fucking crazy. Like, oh, it really makes you cringe. And sometimes it just feels like, it feels like that one couple that you would see like in the lunchroom or something like that. And even nowadays, we're getting into this area where people kind of make fun of the people who make fun of them, that are like in love and having a good time. Like, bro, you're sitting there lonely filming this person or laughing at this person. They're happy right now. Them two, they're doing some cringy shit, maybe like purring in each other's ears and like wiggling noses and stuff. But it's like, yo, they're fucking happy. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, my guy? You're just lonely. You're just sitting here. All you can do is laugh. Cool. They're fucking happy. They're not even concerned about you. So I think that's cool how that whole thing's turned around, So that's insane, just how far society has come in some ways. But yeah, it gets very fucking cringy. Like the party scene was wild, but it was fun. But I completely get it. There's just so much to talk about. And I don't want to go like beat for beat on the movie, but dude, definitely watch this because she is incredible, and it is gonna be. I'm going to be watching her career. I can't wait to see where she goes from here. And the scares and how uncomfortable she made everything and just the behind the scenes, I'm really looking forward to seeing all that. So I really hope for a physical release, some sort of collector's edition, 100%. I'll buy it. Which, it kind of makes me wish other studios got this, because Neon wanted to buy the movie, A24 wanted to buy the movie, and I'm like, bro, we could have had some amazing merch and maybe some amazing, like, physical like copies or something, like, I don't know, some special shit. And dude, it would have been so fucking cool. So because A24 and Neon, they're on top of their game right now when it comes to just like these horror movies and just like indie movies in general. So man, it would have been really fucking sick. But Focus, they did enough, man. They knew exactly how much, and they sweetened the pot somehow, some way, and they ended up buying the movie. And I'm definitely going to be there when it comes to the physical releases. I'm so excited for that. But man, definitely watch it, because her whole performance. One of my favorite scenes is like the second time she goes to his apartment or whatever. She's just standing there like silhouette, and they play with like her silhouette and shadows so well. It makes her so creepy because there's no monster. It is just her. They're not like doing all these extra things to her face or anything like that. They did in one part. They did in one part, but it was just makeup and I think a little bit of practical effects. I think a little bit because there's one scene where she's just crying in a fucking corner that's so creepy and scary, and it looks like her face is definitely not her face, but they released a picture and they just did a little bit of work on her, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy because that looks really fucking scary in daytime. So I'm pretty sure it looked even creepier at night. And but no, the scene where it was just her, it reminded me of Blade Runner, like the tricks that they did with Blade Runner back in the day with how they would get like the retinas to reflect and have that little thing, that little shimmer of red to where you would know, hey, they're a replicant, you know, they're not a real person. She had those little beads of light just reflecting, and it made her look so scary because she's just this silhouetted figure with like these little mini dots for like eyes, but you could still make out very little of her face. And I feel like that it was a big choice. They're playing with the darkness because you know what the face is supposed to look like, but they're making it just dark enough where you can see a little bit of features, but your mind is also going to play tricks on you with trying to like fix, you know, because you want to identify something. That's how our brains work. We're supposed to identify something. That's why Uncanny Valley is so fucking weird, and we know when something's off and we don't see like a real face. And that whole theory with how like, oh hey, humans are actually very afraid of other shit that looks like people but that is not a person, because our like genetics or whatever, we have this fear, you know, just like I don't know, just like how I don't know, like fucking buffaloes or some shit like that, they know to be afraid of like lions and all this other stuff. Certain animals know to fear other animals because they know, like it's just embedded in their DNA. Their DNA. I cannot remember what the fuck the scientific term was, but I remember learning about it in school, and I thought it was extremely fascinating because I always wondered how does something that was just born on this earth, like a giraffe, like a baby giraffe, just born on this earth, how the fuck does it already know, hey, if you see that fucking thing, you run. That thing has nothing to do with you. Or if you see that thing is friendly. You guys survive in this perfect ecosystem where that thing is actually a benefit to you and blah, 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 blah. I never understood that. That never made any sense, okay? God's plan. I don't know. It's all a perfect circle, you know? We're not meant to be here. And so it's crazy. So I feel like, and that's part of the theory, is at one point there was definitely something that was preying on humans that we're just afraid of. So when we know that something was like mimicking us or whatever, or that maybe another species that was very resembling of us but not one-to-one, and maybe it died off or whatever the fuck, you know, because obviously humans became top of the food chain or whatever. So it's like at one point we weren't, and we were very afraid of something that looked like us. And that's fucking scary to think about, dude. Thinking about the fact you're not at the top of the food chain anymore, pretty fucking crazy, which is a crazy statement to say because, yeah, there's a lot of things out there that could fucking kill us and eat us and shit like that. Yeah, totally. But, dude, like, just knowing that, like, oh, hey, no, there is something out there that will specifically hunt you, like that could walk around in society and kind of blend in. You would have no idea unless you're really paying attention. That's fucking scary. We can see a dog, we can see a lion, you know, we can see a fucking shark in the water. We know that thing is most likely going to kill us, versus, oh hey, we're not 100% sure this thing could just get us at any point in time. And I believe that's why a lot of people talk about like skinwalkers and the Appalachian mountains and stuff like that, which places not going. I'm not a very superstitious person, but you're not gonna catch me out there, okay? Just I don't want to fuck around and find out. I'm good. I like my home. This green right here, that's probably the closest I want to come to like that forest. I'm sure there's this shade of green out there somewhere, but that's just me personally. You know, it's whatever. Yeah. I know I've been rambling a lot this episode, but I'm just glad to be talking about this. And these are just two topics, or at least that was like a big topic that reminded me of, because I immediately told my girlfriend, like, yo, I'm like very unsettled, and the only thing I could think about throughout this whole movie was that one chick. that I had this interaction with, because she knows about it, because this was around the time. I mean, we've known each other like 14 years, so she already knew about it because she was my friend. But she was the friend that was going to be coming down from North Carolina and visiting me. So it was like, whoa, this was like right before you came around. It was a weird time, and I just stopped talking to that person, and it's just so, oh, it's just so weird, dude. It's so fucking weird. God, avoid people like that, man. Like, I know it's hard. Some people, you don't know their true colors until later, but it's something. So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't talk about the movie a whole lot. It was just something to really talk about with all these other things, because that's what this movie made me feel. And I'm curious, did this give anybody else like PTSD or some sort of flashbacks to some weird time in their life? Because it did for me, and I was like, whoa, I don't ever want to watch that movie again. Which a lot of us said that right after the movie. A lot of us are like, bro, I don't want to watch that again. And a lot of reviews are people saying the same thing, like, yo, it was so good, but holy shit, I do not want to watch that again. And I get it, because after that movie, it took me a minute to kind of just process everything. And I was just like, that was incredible, but I can't watch it. Like, that movie just had me like full of just so much anxiety. Like, it made me feel a lot of things. I'm like, that's a fucking movie right there, dude. That is film. That is cinema right there. Mm. I've been doing so much talking. I had to drink water. Fucking hell. Fucking yapping, my guy. Just me. Oh shit. But yeah, that's what's been happening. So please watch it, and let me know if you guys have any stories. I genuinely want to know. So please put them in the comments. It helps the algorithm. It helps with all that shit. And if you guys have been listening and stuff, awesome. And if anybody's new here listening or anything, I greatly appreciate you. And hopefully, we can talk more in the future, because there's definitely going to be movies and stuff I'm talking about. I will eventually start to be consistent. That's the one thing right there about me. I was starting this the other day, but I've just been not in the mood. So yeah, I've just been up and about. We're new. We're not new, but we have the AMC membership, the A-listers. You know, I know. Like, yes, what's up? Excuse me. Now we're actually using it, but the thing is, since I get off of work, we go straight to the movies, and then we're there all night, and then come back really late. So your boy gets tired, and yeah, but I need to start taking advantage of my membership. So that's what we're starting to do. So we just been up and about, like, work all day, movie, come back late, sleep, work early in the morning, all day, movie. Like, we watched 3 movies in a row. Okay, we watched Obsession, or no, we not Obsession. We watched, yes. Fuck, I am fucking up my words. We watched Obsession. We watched Mortal Kombat the next day. Mortal Kombat 2, got pretty blitzed for that one. It was kind of fun, you know. Better than the first one. So I'm only there for the fights. The story, I'm not expecting anything great. I just want to see fights, dude. Just give me that, honestly. But and then we watched Obsession again, because our friends were gonna go watch it, and I'm like, fuck, if you guys are gonna watch it, we're gonna go fucking watch it. Fine. And there we go. We watched it, and we just fucking love it, dude. It's a good movie, and it definitely, I think now it does have rewatch value, but that first one really, it really just did something to my stomach, and I was like, oof, I don't know, man. But I love it, and I really want to know if anybody else has any stories or anything like that. Um, I don't have a fortune for you guys today. Shit. All I can say is, like, yo, just be mindful, you know, be mindful of other people. Try to think outside yourself, and don't just let your perception of reality actually dictate reality, because a lot of the times it's not one to one. We gotta look at it from all perspectives and think about how another person is gonna see things, hear things, and just how they feel about something. It's okay to be selfish, but sometimes you gotta think, okay, is this gonna mess with somebody else, you know? And don't be like this person that I was reading these text messages, because It's not okay. It's really not okay. But I'm just gonna end it there with that one. But until next time, be excellent, be kind, subscribe to the channel.